Good afternoon, family. You got the Top Dog here with another edition of the Listening Room. And what I'm going to attempt to do today, this is my third time attempting it because I keep messing it up. But I'm going to try to make a how-to video as to how to set your reel-to-reel up in order to record onto it. Now, I have the music coming from my computer to the input in the back on my reel-to-reel. So that's where I'll be getting the music from. So I'm going to tell you how I set the machine up. And for those that don't know, I already have a reel spooled up here. This side here is a supply side and this side is a take-up side. Now what I have going is I have the tape going over the tape tension arm, over to the bottom of the tape guide post, is coming up underneath, is going over the heads, and then it's going between the capstan shaft and the pinch roller. And I forgot what this is called, so forgive me. And then but it's going over the top of it. Then it's going up underneath the shut-off arm, and the purpose of that is if there's not any tape keeping tension on it, it'll shut your machine off, which is always good. Then I have it just going up to the right side of my take-up arm, and you twist it until you get everything tight, and then you're ready to rock and roll. Now, what I normally do is I try to have something already queued up, and normally I use Tidal, and I'm going to be using that today. Let me switch back over to OBS. Now, what I do is I run some music over here so that I can get my VU meters, that's a left and right meter. I got to get them so that they're not peeking out in that red part there, because when the needle goes into the red, you start getting distortion. So what I normally do, I'll put my output level there at about halfway and put my line, and that's the music that controls what's going on to the tape. I'll put that about halfway also. And I got to switch back over to Tidal. Now what I'm going to do is I have to show you down here, and if I can remember, switch back over. Okay, now right here it actually says record mode, and if you have those left and right buttons flipped up, it's on, and down is off. So you want those on because you want to record. When you're not recording, you want to flip those to the off position. Now, since I want to know what's going on to the tape, up here where it says output, this shows you where you either monitor the tape, which is on top, or the source is on bottom. I want to monitor the tape because I found that the VU meters are a little different. On this machine, they don't come up as high in the tape mode as they do in the source mode, and I need them set for the tape mode. So I have those flipped to tape, and let me put this back down. Now what I'm gonna do now, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch back over to my music, and I'm gonna hit record and pause on my reel-to-reel. Now, if you don't have a pause button, you're going to hit record and play. So I have everything set up so it's ready to record. I'm going to hit forward, it's going to the right. I'm going to hit that, and it'll actually be recording once I put some music into it. Now you can see that the VU meters they're running just a little bit. Now the more I turn the line source up, the higher it goes. Now I'm going to let that play for a while Because like I said, I want the needle to go just about up to the red line, but I don't want it to go past that red line. So we're just going to let that play a little bit, let Millie do her thing. And I'm going to move the music up. All right, there we go. I'm going to move it up a little bit, and you can see that's a little too high. So I'm going to back it back down. I had to get to a place in the song where it's actually louder. So what you want to do, let it run to the chorus, because the chorus is normally louder than any other part of the song. Now, I know that it's not going to go up into the red area, so I'm happy with the way my meters are set. Now, if I had a problem, say for example I had the left VU meter coming all the way up to the red line, but the right VU meter is only coming up about halfway. Now, let me switch back over here. Now, on the line input, there's actually two dials there. The one in the middle is for the left VU meter, and the big one is for the right VU meter. And that's where you could adjust each one of them. But I'm not going to play with those because I'm sort of happy with where it's at right now. So that I know that when I start recording, my recording is going to be good and it's not going to be distorted. So I'm going to switch over to title, and since I got to start that song over, I had to get off of that one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit stop. I'm going to hit rewind, and I'm going to let that rewind until it gets to 0 on my tape counter. And it's almost to 0. There we go. Let's go a little bit before that. I'm going to 0 out my meter. Now I know I can go ahead and I can start this. It's going to record at the levels that I want it to record at, and I won't be getting the distortion that I would if those needles were pegging up into the red. You don't ever want to do that. Every once in a while it might peg up there for a second and come back down. Now that's fine. But if it's staying in the red, then you got a problem. Because once you finish recording your tape, then and you go to play it, you're going to have all kinds of distortion. Now, I do this every time when I get ready to record, even though the vast majority of the time I will use this 3300 to record with. Sometimes the music that I'm recording, for some reason they recorded it and it's louder than the last one that I did. So I always got to set that line input so that I'm not pegging into the red. And the output, just put it up enough to where you can actually hear it coming through your system or through your headphones. Now, what I have going here is this is going from the computer. I got a DAC Magic down there, digital analog converter. Then it's going over to that reel-to-reel. And I got in series here, so it's going through my TX 2000R. It's going over to the Technics 1506. It's going up there to the Pioneer RT 909, then down to the Pioneer stereo system, and that's where it's coming out to the speakers. So that's the tape path that I'm using. And to be honest with you, it's not always the best to set it up like that, because when it gets to the end, the more things you got the signal going through, the more chance of distortion that you have. But I shouldn't have any distortion going on to my tape. And that's the main thing that I'm concerned about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start recording since I have everything set up the way I want to. So I'm going to hit my record and my pause button again. I'm going to hit my play button. Then I will start my music coming through. And you see everything is running fine on the VU meters there. Now, if you want to know what's actually coming out of the computer on the output instead of tape, you can actually switch it down to source. But that's not telling you what's going on that tape, and that's what you need to know when you're recording. So when you're recording, keep that output up on tape. That way you know you're making a good tape. You don't have the volume down too low, and you do not have the volume up too high where it's pegging in the red. So anyway, that's my little class on setting the reel-to-reel up to record a tape. And I'm going to be in here for a little while because I actually wanted to record this. So I'll bring myself into the picture now. But I wanted this to go ahead and record to the end, so I'm gonna let it continue, and I'm gonna transition over there and turn that light out, and you can see me sitting here at the computer. You can see me recording there, and you can see just about everything I'm doing. But I have a hard time using the iMovie so I can edit these videos. So I have to try to get everything sort of halfway correct the first time. So if I got some mistakes on here, please forgive me, because I'm just doing the best I can with this. But anyway, family, I hope everybody has a great Sunday evening. And if you like this one, let me know. If you know anybody that is into stereo gear or anything like that, into the old vintage stuff, if you turn them on to my channel, I would appreciate it. Those of you that are listening that are not subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it that if you would subscribe to it. And I'm not doing this to make money, because I'd never get anywhere with this. I got a whole 20 subscribers, so it's not like I have a whole lot going here. But I'm just hoping that the content that I do put on, that the people that are subscribed, that they enjoy it as much as I do. I just love being in here in my listening room, having fun with all this stereo gear. And if there's anyone out there that hasn't been on my channel before, I'll sort of swing it around here, give you a little view of what I got in the listening room. That's the left side of my listening room, and as you can see, it's showing 4 reel-to-reels there, so it shows that I really like reel-to-reels. And from this view here, you can see the other 3, the Techniques, the TX 2000R, and the TX 3300 SR. And let me go back to the first one there, because you can see that I actually got 2 stereo systems going there. Everything that's silver to the right, that's my Pioneer system, and the one to the left is my Yamaha system. And of course I got speakers. I got a ton of tapes that on the shelf below the Sony, the real big Sony there to the left side of the screen. All of those reels on the bottom, plus a few more I have in crate, I've recorded myself. So I've spent a little bit of time in here playing with this stuff. And this tape that I'm recording on today, I'm actually recording over a Gladys Knight tape that I had made, because I have a couple of tapes with Gladys Knight, because since 1972, I have loved me some Gladys Knight and the Pips from when I went into the Marine Corps. got down to Pensacola, Florida, and there weren't very many of us down in Pensacola. And I didn't have a car, didn't have any way of getting around, so I would go down to the rec room. And they had one black artist on the jukebox there, and that was Gladys Knight and the Pips. And I must have played Midnight Train to Georgia till they couldn't play anymore. They probably had to replace that record once I left there. But like I said, I had a few tapes with Gladys Knight and the Pips, so I figured I'd go ahead and I would record over this one. So I'm gonna fill this side up with Millie Jackson. I don't know what I'm gonna put on the other side, but we'll see. Anyway, family, I hope that everybody, let me try to cut to myself again here, and hope everybody has a great afternoon. And family, till the next time, you got the Top Dog, and he is out of here.